Hi class, this is just a video explaining 1.6. So 1.6 was our top-down design and making methods. So here's the planting flowers example we did in class. I'm just going to go through it one more time so we can see and make sure that everyone is on the exact same page. So let's look at the assignment. We need to make two methods, make flower, put in position. We'll start by defining them, then we'll write the code. This should make the flower bloom. Method put in position should make Carol move 3 spaces. We'll have to do that a lot. We need to call that make flower twice for 2 flowers and put in position 6 times. So I know that a lot of us wanted to do a few less times than 6, so I'll also show that. Let's take a look. So helps me if I look at like a little paint of the exercise to try and plan it out. So this might help you too. Okay, so we want to move him to here. That's 1, 2, 3 spaces like we said. Move him up another 3 spaces. Then we want to bloom a flower here. I'm going to do that in yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll wind up moving at some point, probably through here or through here. In some way moving through the dots. So let's assume we do this. Then we can move him down. Move him again this way. Bloom the flower again. Down. And that's it. And our result shows him down here facing this way, so we're good to go. So we'll try and encode something like that, but I figured a little preview might help. If we want, we can stick it here just to see. Let's get to the code. So remember the 2 methods we need to define. They're going to be outside the run method, but with the brackets still in line. That was make flower and put in position. So once we define these 2 methods, we can then continue our code. Remember, we're extending Carol here, not Super Carol, so we'll need a turn right and maybe turn around if we'd like it. Oops. Since we know exactly what's going on here, we'll just write it in, but you might want to write out the code like we did above, and then add the commands. So my method here makes sense. Yes, everything's indented once. Brackets are in line. Good to go. This is 2 turn lefts, don't forget. Okay, now let's start writing the code. So what was put in position? I think it even told us in our exercise. You can always refer to this to remember our commands. Moves 3 spaces. Alright, let's do that. If we have requirements, we should try to follow them. So we're following them. Move, move, move. Good. So let's put him in position and then see exactly what we might do to make the flower. Here we are in our run block. We're going to put in position. Remember, it wanted us to call those 6 times, so I'll write a couple comments just to remind us. Put in position, so that'll move him forward 3. Then let's make him turn left. And then put in position again. You can kind of see where he'd wind up there, right? Okay, let's run it just to see where we get. And I will speed it up. Okay, so he's about where we want him to be when we would start our flower, correct? So why don't we just copy? Let's take a good look at that requirement from where we were. Okay, so he's here. We need a flower, a flower, a flower, a flower. Let's plan out how we would do that. Up, right, down, while he passes through all those dots, so we can have him put a flower, move, put a flower, move, put a flower, move, and so on. Let's code that, and then would you think we could go this way? I'll draw 2 paths and make the flower again, but we might not use enough moves, so let's just go down and right. It's requiring us to do 6 put in positions, right? So let's count what we might use. 1, 2, this would be our 3, this would be 4, this would be 5, another flower, and 6, and then just turn the right way. So that's 6 moves, and I know it would be smarter to just jump across, but I guess we're pretending he can only climb up the stem of the flower and then back down. So let's code it as we're required to from the exercise and continue. And I'll show the other solution just so you could see what I'm talking about too. So he's in position, now he needs to make the flower. We haven't written that yet, but we know he's going to make the flower. And from our paint, our little pre-scene design there, we can kind of guess what we're going to do next, right? So why don't we kind of do that? So we're going to make the flower. He'll come down here. Then we'll put him in position again. He'll be down at the bottom of the stem. We'll turn him left, turn him left. Put in position. I'm getting tired of writing that, aren't you? We can copy it and then paste it because we're lazy. That's why we write methods. That's why we can copy and paste. Here's the 4th. And where did we say he wound up? Well, let's just run it just to see. Whoa. Ah, we didn't write the make flower command, so he's not up here. Let's make the flower then. And just so we can comment at our code without getting rid of it, I will write a comment. See, star slash star star, and then we end it with star slash. And the rest of our code becomes not green anymore. So, where is he? There. See, we've commented at our code, and it just runs it up to the make flower, which we haven't written. So he's going to put a ball. That's one of our petals of our flower. Then we want him to move up to the next spot and put another ball. He's facing north at this point, and we want him to turn east, so we'll have him turn right, which we've written already. Move to the next spot, put a ball, move again, and put the last petal. Did our code work out? We missed a turn, didn't we? So, move, turn right, put ball. Move, put ball. We want him to turn right again. And now he's in the right spot. So I just figured that would be a good way to show how we kind of can mess up, but then still fix our code just a step at a time. So let's get rid of that comment and see if the rest of our code that we predicted makes sense. Reset him, run him. Okay, he's down at the bottom right of the flower. I think that's where we wound up. Let's take another look at our big design and kind of plot him forward. Okay, so that's most of our, that's halfway up through our program. So he needs to turn again, get put into position, make the flower, get put into position again, and turn. So let's get the rest of that code in so we can finish up this code. You're going to turn from the bottom of the flower, get put in position again our 5th time. He's then going to make the last flower. After he makes the flower, he's in the bottom right corner of the flower here. Where did he go? So he's made the flower. He's going to move down, turn, and he's done. Put in position for the final time, and turn left. So I will make this a little smaller so we can kind of see the whole program at once. I'm sure we're familiar with our turn right commands. Let me shrink those. We can hit this little arrow here. Put in position we know is move 3 times. Okay. So fairly simple ones here. I'll leave this because it's a little bit more complicated. Let's reset it. Just step through it one at a time. See how we jump through the methods, just so everyone's clear on how that works. Okay, put in position. Jumps down here. Well, it ain't unshrink it. Turn left. Jumps down to turn left. Well, put in position again. Make flower. Moves, put the ball, turn right. So on and so forth. Make it a little faster because we're going to see him do the exact same thing. Goes to another method. And now we're done. Another way you can complete this that I saw a lot of people doing is like this. And I'll do this in a different color just so if you want to differentiate it, you can. Let's take a look here. So instead of using the put in position 6 times, we only use it 4 times. So all the methods I wrote are going to be the exact same, but we just had the dog take a different path. So we put in position once, put in position twice, make the flower, put in position again, turn, put in position, well, oops. No, we stay here, right? This is the other way you guys were doing it. Turn, put in position, make the flower, put in position, and turn. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as we can see, I had the code here with only the 4 put in positions. We run it. It looks right. It says you got it. But when we can continue, it doesn't call the put in position enough times. Now it said in there, I know it's kind of silly. When we show the exercise, it says we need to use it 6 times. And I know we can solve it pretty easily with 4. I just did. We just wrote the same code. But we made it look a little bit different. And it looks complete, but we need to make sure we fulfill the requirements it's asking us. It's more of a puzzle putting the pieces together here than it is writing code that just finishes the design. We need to make sure we do it correctly.